Good morning, evening, nighttime, wherever you're at. Hope your weekend was great. I'm hoping my weekend was great. So far, half is done. It's pretty all right. Today we're going to be working on the blacksmith station here, and it's future Ivan kind of recording over past Ivan because past Ivan couldn't talk at the time. Just wanted to. Was actually pre-recording because I was planning on being on the road during this when I'd have to push this out. So, there's at least two recordings that are pre-recorded that I'm gonna talk over here. This is a blacksmith shop, as it were, and with a small house. It's inspired very much by Skyrim and some tack shops that I used to visit when I was a little miniature Ivan running around and such. I believe I mentioned it before. I grew up on a farm, and we used to visit tack shops on occasion. So here I'm just laying down the base. And it's going to skip around a little bit because I cut out all the times in which I had to go get resources from the woods or other places. So I'm going to let past Ivan get to work here, and I'll comment as we go. Okay, so here I should mention that I had to actually start and stop a few times. So there's gonna be some of the edits were because I had to go do something living on a farm at the parents' house during the winter break. You gotta do chores and such. Any case, so here I'm trying to place some stairs because I'm tired of running around to go up into the inn to get more material, rock material, because that's where I stored it from the basement of the inn. And I eventually give up on this. And so we go back to the inn here. Or, I'm sorry, Blacksmith Shop. Start tacking down the stairs here. Overall, the whole reason I wanted to do the Blacksmith Shop first is because I wanted a place where I could smelt my iron without going all the way up to that original house that we built. It's a nice little place up there, but it's too far away from everything that I'm doing right now. So I wanted a place close by that I could mine out some more ore and then quickly get to it. So here I'm just tacking down some more stone blocks. And to be honest, I'm quite pleased with this basement thing here. Another mention is I hope the quality is a little bit better. I upped it a little bit on OBS, at least I think I did. I was messing around the settings trying to get it a little bit higher up because the previous footage looked fuzzy. And this looks a little bit more crisp. Maybe it's just my imagination. Let me know in the comments if you could, if it does look more crisp. I'm trying to make it a little bit more clear, because, like I said, it looked a little fuzzy, and after I posted the videos on YouTube, I'm like, I don't remember it looking this fuzzy when I was doing this, but who knows? My memory could be fuzzy itself. So, yeah, anyways, I wanted to get the base done first. I think I may have actually come back to this towards the middle and change the shape ever so slightly. I'm not entirely sure. This really did take me over the course of about an hour and a half to do, and I cut it down to about, I think, 36 minutes or so. That's what the total of this video is going to be about. And I didn't speed anything up. I just cut out the resource gathering as much as I could. Yeah. Here I decided that I needed one extra section. And I think I opted... Yeah, I know that I opted for a 3 wide. Well, be wide? Or would it be length? I'm not sure. It's all perspective, I guess, depending on how you look at it. I think... I'm not even sure. It's I believe it's like 4 or 5 by 3 is what I settled with. I'm not entirely sure. I'd have to go back and count the blocks this year. Judging by the video, 1, 2, 3. I think that was 5. Oh, taken out. This is where I took out the extra so that I could make it 3 sections long, I guess. I don't know. Who knows? Pretty sure somebody could comment, correct me on that. That it's like 5 wide and 3 long or something like that. I'm not sure. Okay, so after finishing the foundations, I decided the first thing I wanted to do was do the railings. So in a moment here, I'm going to grab a timber. I'm trying to figure out exactly where I want to put it, so I'm looking around. And so I'm crafting some timbers here now. And going into the wrong menu. Yep. Still trying to remember. For some reason, every time I start this game, I forget which menu does what. And so I'm just trying to get a feel for exactly where I want to put this. And I finally decide, you know what? I want to do it right here. I want to do a corner piece there. Corner piece there. And there. There. And so on and so forth. I do think I end up making them too wide. Yep, there it goes. Made them too wide, and then I made a timber there for kind of a nice looking railing, because I feel that the railings in game are a little too high, although they're all right looking. So I go back and forth on them all the time, whether I want to do my old railings or if I want to do the ones that are in game already. Okay, so that's one of those I had to load up the game again segments. It had to do something. I'm not gonna be specific in what it is. It's farm stuff. Nothing too big. Um, so here I'm just placing more walls, and so you'll be able to tell when I'm actually uh, gathering resources, and then have to actually stop the video to do something else because I'll always try to cut it so it shows me running towards the woods or something, so you'll know that I'm gathering resources and such. Um, Normally I'll actually talk the whole time. Past Ivan will talk the whole time, and then if the conversation is uh, good enough, I guess I'll keep it in. But if it's boring, and then I cut it out just to keep it down. Otherwise, these videos would be like an hour long minimum. Some of them would be 3 hours long. Otherwise, if I didn't edit things out, because I do everything in survival. And I think this is where I figure out, oops, I put in the wrong door frame, and then actually started building it more. I'm like, no, wait, it's not what I wanted to do. So I think I'm getting rid of more material so that I can pick up this door there. I'm trying to pick it up, but it keeps blocking instead of deconstructing it. There it goes. And there we go, right door. Cool. And I apologize for any background noise. I'm still at the house here. And then I decided, I think this is where I realized that I had made another boo-boo and didn't put the shutter windows in. So I went through and changed those as well. Yep. There you go. With shutter. That's very important. I kind of wish that it was that you could add those in separately. It's a bit of a pain to do it this way. I also wish that I could choose to have them open inwards as opposed to outwards. Or I had like a double shutter thing. Because it does stick in the way a little bit. Apparently I dropped some logs on here. I'm not entirely sure why. Or some timbers. There we go. Another thing I noticed is that sometimes these shutters don't like to stay closed even though they are closed. So it's a little bit of a graphics issue. So there I figured out, oops, I did another boo-boo here. So I started trying to deconstruct it, but I kept constructing it. There we go. And I decided eventually just to keep that as is. I was like, do I do an open, or do I do a shutter, or do I do an open thing? And then I thought, well, if I do the shutter, it's going to be out into that work area, and I don't want to get caught up on it. So I look at it again, look out through it. I'm like, could I picture myself as a blacksmith in this setting, looking out and seeing if I got any customers or not? I thought, yeah, you know what? I'll leave it. Now the blacksmith shop itself will not have any furniture in it until, besides the crafting stations and such. The reason I want to keep those away is just to keep the performance going great, and I didn't want to risk it. And so there we go. Walls are done, it looks like. And now I'm putting up the low pitch roof that I put on the other section, but this time I didn't cut it out. One, because actually, primarily I was not angry, and that with the end, couldn't speak anymore. I was that angry that time. And I think I end up doing my old trick of using roofs as ramps to get up to do things. Okay, as discussed in the previous video, I'm starting with the lowest portion first to make sure that the roof actually works, and then I'll go back through and tack it all down. And so I'm just trying to place it. It was very difficult to place for some reason. Very annoying. I'm trying to make sure it lines up and scrolling through. There we go. I think I ended up having to go up here. Yep. I think I wanted to do this one first and then put the next one on. Because I was... as I remember, I was like, well, this is how I was able to get it to work last time. So, logically, if I did the same thing, it would work again. And there we go. Put it in, and as you can see, it added in that section that was missing in the original video there. Pretty sure I showed that. I'm not sure right now if I edited that, showed that gap or not. Short to say, I was not happy at all by the end of that episode. Took way too long. This video, like I said, only took an hour. But then again, it didn't. I had less to do. It wasn't as big of a building, and I believe even the next episode I'll do something else. And it's like the blacksmith shop and that building that I'm building next took half the time that inn took me. Ugh, that inn was a nightmare, to say the least. So here I am tacking this down, and I'll let my past self finish this roof off. There, I'm putting in the this section. I had to make sure I had the right one because there's two different versions of this roof with the low pitches, and you need this one. which attaches to the, I guess, quarter block peak or something. I'm not sure what it's called right now, but that's what I'm calling it. And of course I needed more timbers to finish this off. So I'll let myself finish that off. Okay, now for the tricky part. The tricky part being that I wanted to try to get these timbers to go up to the roof without sticking through them as much as possible. And that proved more difficult than I thought it would. Yeah. Bit of a pain, to be honest. So again, I'm gonna let future Ivan take over this point. It was such a pain. See me trying to figure this out. I'm like, well, how do I do all of this? I need this to work. So I'm gonna let it monkey around with this for a minute. Okay, so I had stopped to do chores again. Well, something really. Living on a farm, people come by all the time, so especially during the daytime. Here I'm tacking the roof together. Also, during that little break, I had forgot to start recording, and so I actually grabbed the smelter, brought it down here, and I can't tell. I think I redid my axe and got some resources before I realized that I needed to hit the record button. And so the axe is pretty new now, I think. I'm not entirely sure. All I know is just that there's no footage of me bringing the smeltery down, and I know I did. And there's a lot of back and forth there. Here I'm trying to jump in and get that last piece of roof done. And just gave up and decided to put another ramp in so that I could get that done. That would be my undoing in a little bit here. But, yeah, let's continue to watch past Ivan tack things together. Overall, it's coming together quite nicely. I wouldn't say this is my favorite build of the series so far, but, you know, the end is a love-hate relationship, so I can't really say it's my favorite. I love the basement portion of that build, but you know, a blacksmith, it's got a, you know, it's quite nice. I don't know what else to say. All right, so I'll let him continue doing his roofing. Okay, if you're wondering what that sound was, that was the stone foundation breaking for some reason as soon as I placed that roof. The only thing I can figure is that it just did not like the idea of a roof being above it, so it broke the foundation. Here I'm trying to fix this little gap here. I ended up, this seems to be the easiest way to make it work. I don't know if I need to keep it all the way on there or build it all the way up and disable or take it all the way down. But that's how I got the roof to be even at the edge. And right here, I find out that the foundation broke. Oh dear. So I had to take this down. Luckily, there were no pieces floating around, so it was pretty easy to replace. So I replaced it and continued to put it on the final touches here. Okay, one save right there, just to make sure everything was, everything to this point was pretty good. And so I decided, heck with it, I don't know if I showed it in an earlier portion of the video, but I tried putting a railing on before and it broke. And so that was my second attempt. It did not work. Oh boy. Turns out that it was just a bug in the game. Due to an update. Talked to the, submitted a ticket on the forums, and 24 hours after this video was recorded, it was finished. So good job, Keen. That's awesome on you guys' part. 24-hour turnaround like that. There I go. I decided, you know what, heck with it. I'll try diagonal timber and see if that makes a difference. And it wouldn't go. So I went with the smaller diagonal timber. Put one there. There we go. And then I flipped the other one around so that it would be even. And I believe I left it like that after that, even with the update being finished. I guess overall it was fine. It kind of fit the theme anyways. And I believe I had like 2 more diagonal timbers left, and I was trying to figure out if there was anything I wanted to do with them. I monkeyed around with a few ideas here. Just trying to get a feel for, if you're a blacksmith or somebody looking to procure the services of blacksmith. I tried to figure out how that'd look. Okay, so here I experiment a little bit with the large diagonal timber rather, and there I wanted the third person to check to see if it went through the roof or not, and it didn't. But overall, I didn't like the look of it. Kind of cluttered up the area. So for now, I'm actually done with this. I'll add furniture again later on. And here I'm going to do a little cinematic view here in a second. And there's just me walking backwards, but here it is. Any case, I'd like to thank you guys for watching these videos. If you could, give this a likes up, share it if you want. But overall, thank you guys for watching. See you later. Bye.